This problem is annoying. When you decide to connect your PlayStation pad or controller to your PlayStation, you turn it on and now it's connected. The controller tends to control itself without you pressing it. It's very annoying and frustrating. But this problem has a solution, which is simple to do. This PS3 controller issue won't happen to your PlayStation 3 controller immediately. It will take some time, at least 5 years using your controller. The controller tends to develop this fault. So it's not something that will happen immediately. And I'm going to be sharing with you the solution in this video. It's very simple to solve this problem and it won't happen again after solving it once. So you get your Phillips screwdriver and then take off the Phillips screws under your PlayStation 3 or beneath your PlayStation 3 controller. So there are about 5 Phillips screw beneath your PlayStation 3 controller. So you take them off. Now you can gently remove the back cover of the controller. You have to do this gently and you have to concentrate more on the top of the controller where the L2 and R2 button is located. So you have to take your time removing the back cover of the controller. Make sure you take your time in doing this so you won't rip off the L2 or R2 button. Now it is off. The next step is to remove the battery. You have to disconnect the battery from the panel or the motherboard. But in order to achieve that, we have to take off one screw holding the motherboard to the PS3. After removing the screw, now you can lift up the motherboard out of the PlayStation 3 controller housing and then unplug the battery from the motherboard. This is how the original PlayStation 3 controller battery looks like. This is the original battery from the PlayStation 3. So this is it. Let's keep this aside. Now I'm going to be sharing with you the problem causing the controller to be pressing itself or controlling itself after connecting it. You see this dot dot dot. Yes, that dot is connected to that flex cable that my screwdriver is touching and my hands is touching. So it's having partial contact. Partial contact simply means it's not touching properly. So this flex cable is not touching the motherboard properly. So we're going to be creating a means for it to touch properly. So this foam, this black foam I just brought out is what is inside before. So I'm going to be creating an additional foam which will lift the flex cable to touch the motherboard properly. So I just fold a paper to the size of the foam I saw in the PlayStation 3 controller. So this is it. I made the same shape and it's good to go. Now we are going to be placing the paper beneath before I place the original black foam that came with it. So this is how it's been placed. You place it properly. This is the view. You place it properly in order. After doing that, you take the black foam that comes with the PlayStation 3 controller and place it on top. By doing this, you are lifting the flex cable up so it can touch the panel or the motherboard properly. I've done doing this. So then you get an alcohol. This is an alcohol I use to clean motherboard. You get a towel and then extract a little and then clean the connector where the flex cable is going to be touching. There might be some particle there or dust. So you clean it off and it's good to go. Right now, we are going to be doing the reverse of what we did earlier when losing this controller. You place the motherboard firmly into the controller and then you get the Phillips screw and then you screw it holding the motherboard firmly to the controller. I noticed that the R2 button came off while repairing. So we're going to be fixing that next. That is a simple thing to do. You just need to place it in order. The R2 has a spring at the right hand side. So you place the spring inside. After doing this, you touch it. When it bounces back, it means it's working well. But if it falls when you touch it, it's not good. So this one is fine because when I press it, it bounces back. So now it's time to put our battery in place. Now it's time to connect the battery to the battery terminal. Do this gently by connecting it so you won't rip off the battery wire off the terminal. And now you lie the battery on the motherboard. So this is it. It's time to cover it with the back cover. You place it, you start from the top. Make sure the R2 and L2 has entered completely before you can then press it flat. Make sure you start from the top of the controller by taking in the L2 and R2 completely inside, and then you can then go to the button, pressing the battery inside. Then the back cover will close freely. This is it. The next step is to get your 5 Phillips screws and get your Phillips screwdriver and screw the 5 Phillips screws into your controller. So this is it. Now it's time to test out the repair. You turn on the PlayStation 3 and now it's time to connect the pad or the controller to the game. I turn on the PS button and it's connected successfully. You can see it's not shaking, it's not pressing itself, it's working perfectly fine. So this is it. The repair was successful. So guys, we have come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like this video, and also hit the notification bell so when next I post another video, you get notified. Have a nice day.